How you doing, guys? ZDEyE here. So I wanted to touch on regarding of the release and kind of what we should expect as well from Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, I'm specifically talking about the release that's coming now in 2025, sometime in that year window, but yet also what should we know regarding of the a mid-gen release like the PlayStation 5 Pro and also the PC version of the game. And another thing, 60 FPS availability. Will that be here present on day one with the Grand Theft Auto 6's launch? I think it would be awesome to have 60 FPS, but I don't know if it will happen due to how crowded and how dense the world of Miami, the world of Grand Theft Auto 6 is, and of course, genuinely makes it kind of intriguing. So, with the release of the Grand Theft Auto 6 coming in 2025, we unfortunately do not know if it's going to be early of 2025 or perhaps later down the line in 2025. As of now, it should be and perhaps should be coming out sometime, well, March or earlier of 2025. But again, I really do doubt it that they'll decide to release it then. I think instead that they're will choose to release their game at the fall of 2025 instead. But yet, we cannot forget that mid-gen refreshed consoles are going to be happening. Specifically, I'm talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro. It's a given basically that will be happening at the end of 2024. And as such, we don't know what kind of specs and improvements will it have and boosts that it will also increase. But yet again, Xbox Series X, will that even get a mid-gen refresh? Microsoft specifically mentioned that there were no plans for that, but yet there were some components and rumors suggesting that, yeah, there should be some sort of improvements. Kind of makes it interesting as well. Well, what about the Xbox Series S, right? Because it's such a far less powerful console, and of course, will this be a problem for Rockstar to develop their game specifically for that one console, the Xbox Series S, because it's so underpowered? But yet also, perhaps maybe they'll decide to not release Grand Theft Auto 6 at all on Xbox. It's quite possible. Well, again, since they already confirmed, it will be indeed coming on Xbox and the PlayStation, so obviously it will be coming out on those two consoles. I'm sure they're going to have to do some kind of compromises, some kind of sacrifices, but we have to wait quite a while until we'll know what those things are. But yet again, 60 FPS, that's another intriguing fact. I am kind of doubting that we could even see it happening on day one for Grand Theft Auto 6. But man, I would love to have it. Seriously, give us an option at least. That would be the best thing. I'm not really expecting it, to be honest with you, since we haven't seen it for Red Dead Redemption 2. We actually have not seen it for a decade with the Grand Theft Auto 5 as well, since it came out on PlayStation 3, then the PlayStation 4, which still didn't get the 60 FPS patch, and then with the PC launch, of course, well, that obviously got its 60 FPS, even more frames per second. But yet, the only time we finally got to see Grand Theft Auto 5 with 60 FPS was when the relaunch has happened specifically for the PlayStation 5 version of that game. And yet, Red Dead Redemption 2, even though PlayStation 5 console's already out, yet it didn't even receive a 60 FPS patch as well. Then we have a story regarding the Red Dead Redemption port that actually got an update for the PlayStation 5. That's finally got the 60 FPS patch, but yet Xbox was completely abandoned, and there's no FPS boost at all on that game at least. So it makes it kind of interesting story to see what's going to be happening in terms of the Grand Theft Auto 6 60 FPS, and could we expect it happening there? Perhaps maybe this game will come out, it will be 30 FPS, but because of the PlayStation 5 Pro, well, in that case, you'll have an option to unlock the frame rates, and so you can play the game on 60 FPS. And of course, you have to still make some kind of sacrifices, perhaps, but it really depends how ambitious Rockstar will go with Grand Theft Auto 6. Even though we know that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be one of the most anticipated games. No. One of the most, that's incorrect. It is the most number one game, the most anticipated game of all time. That definitely will be, well, maybe I'm being a little bit too optimistic in this case, but a lot of people are expecting a lot, and myself included, from Grand Theft Auto 6. And of course, everyone, and I'm sure a lot of people would love to have a 60 FPS like, you know, playtime, well, an opportunity to play this game on. But of course, you know, if Rockstar decides not to have it here, well, it's not gonna be like, oh, that's it, I'm not buying this game only for the sole reason that there's no 60 FPS. But if it does not have it, people are still gonna buy it. That's without a doubt. But if, like I said, if the PlayStation 5 Pro version can have that option, you know, with the availability to choose the options of these 30, but with the fidelity, or 60 with the performance option, of course, with the less fidelity in that case, or maybe removal of the ray tracing mode or something like that. And yeah, then in that case, it's easy choice for me at least. PlayStation 5 Pro all the way with the performance option with the 60 FPS is the most important thing. So what makes this another interesting fact that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be coming out, right? We unfortunately do not know when the PC version will be launching as well, but what the history has told us already, basically give or take, I'll say that a year is the best time to wait until there will be a relaunch on PC specifically for Grand Theft Auto 6. So of course, with the release of the Grand Theft Auto 6 in 2025, then we could expect the PC version in 2026. Or perhaps if they could go even more crazy and go all the way till the 2027. It has happened for like a delay of 2 years until we've seen the PC version. That actually happened with Grand Theft Auto 5, since that game actually released on PS3, a year later PS4, a following year yet again was the PC version. So, but again, there were two consoles back to back, so obviously that's why perhaps Rockstar decided to delay with the PC relaunch, so to say. But in this case, well, the game coming out 2025, we don't know any next generation console upgrades that they're going to be happening, so a lot of people, and myself included, presume that the PlayStation 6 will be happening in 2027 or 2028. So I do think that we will get the Grand Theft Auto 6 like a re-release for specifically the PlayStation 6, and maybe that's when we'll actually also see the 60 FPS patch, but I don't know, of course. It's kind of a speculation on my part. But either way, I'm genuinely looking forward to see what they got in store with the Grand Theft Auto 6, the PC launch, the PlayStation 5 Pro, and also the PlayStation 6. Well, that is a very, very long ways away anyway. Oh my goodness, 2 more years to wait. Well, a little less than that. It really also depends when they'll release the game. Will it be in the first half of 2025 or the second half of 2025? As of the moment, it only indicates there will be the first half of 2025, and maybe even earlier than that, sometime like January, February, March. But I'm not expecting it, to be honest with you. I do think they're gonna internally delay it. They're not gonna mention anything to us, and that's when they'll say like perhaps September of 2025 will be the launch of the Grand Theft Auto 6 for Xbox Series X and S, and of course the PlayStation 5 console. And maybe after, like with a patch, they'll introduce an option to go with a 60 FPS mode, and of course if you want to go with the fidelity or the performance, your choice of course in that situation. Well, alright, thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. See you guys all, and have a wonderful day.